Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148.
A strong community contains a lot of moving parts. Good jobs, a healthy economy, and maybe most importantly, pride. At Poet, we are proud to be doing our part, creating new local jobs and spurring economic development while producing products that improve lives around the globe. Together, we're not just working to serve our community, but to change the world. And that's something we can all be proud of. See the world differently with Poet.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country. Today, Big Dan Wilson alongside of Allen Davis. And Allen, it's September. September is a very important time for people in your industry. It's Life Insurance Awareness Month. Let's talk a little bit about how important that is and what it means to get that out to our general public.
Yeah, September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. It's really about making people aware of how important and all the things that life insurance can do for you. A lot of people think that they're immortal or it's not going to happen to them, right? And the statistic is quite stunning as to how many people actually die in this country, every day. And so it's a fact of life. And bad things happen to good people. And so that's where life insurance can really come into play. It's going to keep, if you're worried about whether your spouse is going to stay in their house and your kids are going to be able to live there, or they're going to be able to continue to go to school, or make sure that they've got a roof over their head, life insurance can do that. And it creates an instant estate for pennies on the dollar.
When you talk about life insurance, the important thing there is making sure that there's something left behind for your family. I mean, in today's society with the cost of living, and if you're the single breadwinner, if you're the sole income for the family, or even if you have a dual income, there's a certain lifestyle that your family has become accustomed to. But more importantly, it's sometimes leaving a legacy behind too, isn't it?
That's right. Life insurance can allow you to, like I said, create an estate for pennies on the dollar. And it really does allow you to leave a legacy for your kids, right? So that your kids have a college education. Because right now, what does everybody read about? Kids are swimming in college debt, right? So, it's and that's could be even compounded if one of the parents aren't there to help the situation, And life insurance can also serve a lot of other purposes because it's one of the very few products that if something doesn't happen to you prematurely, you have a cash value that's built up in that contract and you get your money back. There's not too, and then some. And, there's just not very many products in the market that's going to do that for you. Afford the protection, you'll get your money back with interest, and it'll actually be ahead of wherever if you figure the cost of living. So, it's a great product. We have all kinds of plans. We have something that we can get you started, for really, literally pennies on the dollar for the face amount. Particularly if you're young and healthy, it's really a good bargain. And you can build into those life insurance plans. So, it's not like you've got to spend hundreds of dollars a month to have a really, really good quality plan that if something untimely happens to you, it will serve for generations to come, quite frankly.
When you're working with people like me, who I have my insurance with you, we're always talking about multi-policy discounts. We're always talking about making sure your house is insured, making sure your automobiles and everything on your property, your farm are insured. But sometimes we forget about things like life insurance. And when people come in to sit down with you, that's one of the things you do. You try to customize a plan for them and their family.
That's right, Dan. And it's, like I said, we have a lot of different plans, so not one size fits all. So it's important to do that. And yeah, you brought up a great point. You say, gee, the bank tells me I got to insure my house, right? The bank tells me the state tells me I've got to insure my car, right? But those things can all be replaced. With that a human. You can't be replaced. So money is not necessarily a replacement for you, but it can sure go a long way to help the pain. You know, I've delivered, unfortunately, many death benefit checks in my life, and you know, people, it is kind of interesting because I've never had anybody ask me what type of life insurance it is. Okay, they just want to know how much is the death benefit.
Well, you know, when we talk about getting started too, it's not just something you do at mid-age when you start thinking about retirement or you're thinking about getting older, but it's something that our youth can get involved in right now. They can get started as early as 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, right?
Oh, most certainly, and that's the prime time to do that. Getting started at a younger age, you're much better off. And then we have a lot of strategies. You know, we can actually tailor a program. The younger you are, the better off. We can show you how you can use that life insurance to have a tax-free retirement as well. So it's a great universal product.
Well, that's why we have September as Life Insurance Awareness Month, so that we can get the word out and let people know how important it is to have that product available for your families when it comes to leaving a legacy, when it comes to protecting your family and your assets. It's always good to stop in and talk to an agent like Alan Davis. And if people want more information, as always, they can give you a call or check you out on the web, right?
That's right. You can go to alandavisinsurance.com. And quite frankly, there's a website out there. It's called lifehappens.org. That's always a great place to go to give you more information that is not developed by anybody selling the product. It just helps you as a consumer be better informed.
Thanks, Alan. We'll be back with more in Ohio Country today right after this. Alan Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Alan Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Alan Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148. S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory. United Equity Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com. Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. Are you looking to buy or sell farmland? Then work with a company that works for you. Ron Spencer Real Estate. Founded in 1975, Ron Spencer specializes in farmland, agricultural, and commercial real estate. Check them out on the web with 3 locations to serve you. Ron Spencer Real Estate at rsre.com. That's rsre.com.
I'm Devin Dye, the land guy with Ron Spencer Real Estate. I'm here today to talk about some really cool, inexpensive technologies that we can put in the hands of you as the landowner and farmer alike. Some people like to call them our trade secrets, but I really don't think they are. I think it's really important for you as the landowner or farmer to have as much information, data that you can to operate your farm or manage your property as best as you possibly can. So I think we live in a great time to be alive and a great time to be in business. It's kind of funny, and I've heard it put a couple times like this. We have more technology in a smartphone than we did to put a man on the moon. And some farmers or landowners may get frustrated with the with a smartphone or technology, but I think with proper coaching and maybe a little bit of education on your end, you can put to use some really, really useful tools that exist out there, and they're super inexpensive and in some cases free. The first bit of technology that I want to go over is just an app. I'm going to go over 3 different apps today. You can download them on any smartphone that you have, an iPhone, Android, anything. You can download them and use them. The first one that I want to cover today is actually a paid app. But once you see its value, I think you'll realize that it's relatively inexpensive. So it's called LandGlide, and you download it in the App Store anywhere you want. But what it is essentially a virtual plat map, plat book, and it has every county in the United States. So gone are the days of going to your local regional planning or extension office and buying a $20 to $40 plat book every 3 years, because that's when they're printed and they're outdated, obviously, because land transfers. But just download this app. It costs $100 a year to have, and with that, it gives you some really good information. All landowners and farmers are interested in knowing who adjacent property owners are, or just knowing who owns land in their community. And this app gives you a chance to just browse through, use it just as a plat map. But one of the really cool features that exists with this app is you can click right on the plat on the property, and it takes you directly to the auditor's site, which then you can get information like owner's mailing address, you know, recent sale history. So if you're just looking at what comparable properties might be worth in your area, this is really cool, and a really inexpensive app. And it's just a plat map on steroids, and you can take it beyond what your normal plat book is. Just want to touch briefly on what we've seen here over the summer months with regard to sales. Actually, the second quarter of this year, which would be April, May, and June, even into July, we saw quite a bit increase in number of sales, and property prices have kind of been holding their own. You know, for example, in Hardin County, we sold a property over there for $5,200 an acre. Might be relatively low in some areas, but for that area, it seems to be sustaining its value. You know, in Allen County, the western end of Allen County, I sold a farm for $10,800 an acre. So it just ranges from area and location. I think it's important to consider now more than ever in the year that if you're looking to sell, if you're looking to do something with your land, right now is a really good time where the prospective buyer can take a look at what crops exist on the property, and as we move into the winter months when all the harvest happens and all the farmers take their crop, and we see a lot of farm sales in the winter months. And I think that's a really active time for you as a landowner to consider maybe putting your property on the market. If that's something that you're interested in doing, reach out to me. As we look forward into 2019, it seems to be that there's some negative conversations going on with interest rates and commodity prices, but in fact, in the farmland side of things, we're seeing really relatively no change. Things are holding the same. A lot of experts out there have predicted, you know, 2 years ago that we would see this massive decrease in farmland prices, but we just haven't seen it. And I think that holds true into 2019 and hopefully beyond. You know, in the past year or so, we've seen a little decrease, but looking at the overall picture from 10 years to now, your asset is worth way more money than it was 10 years ago, and it's sustaining its value throughout. At the end of the day, we can talk about commodity prices and interest rates, but we have to look at the overall picture. We only have so much land to feed this world, and they're not making any more of it. And I know that's such a cliche statement, but the truth behind that is very profound. We don't have any more. They're not making any more of it. There's more pressure on growing cities. There's more pressure on conservation efforts, which I feel like is even greater sustaining the value of your asset from now and in the future and coming years. I just want to touch on the area that we cover. We are licensed in the entire state of Ohio, and in the past 35 years that this company has been in business, we have sold farms in almost every county in the state, ranging from southeast Ohio to northeast Ohio, the middle section of the state, clear up, you know, Toledo, Cincinnati, Dayton area. We sell farms in every area of this state. Everything's different. The landscapes are very different, but much different than your average residential real estate company. We're familiar with everything land. It's very important to me as a professional that you as the customer or consumer are being handled correctly. My expertise in the area of selling farms, properties with buildings, without buildings, any type of livestock. I have extensive expertise in this area and experience. And it's important to me that you as the consumer have your property handled correctly. And if you would like a free, no obligation consultation regarding that very thing, please reach out to me. You can email me, devin@rsre.com, or you can contact me on my cell phone, 419-303-5891.
Are you looking to buy or sell farmland? Then work with a company that works for you. Ron Spencer Real Estate. Founded in 1975, Ron Spencer specializes in farmland, agricultural, and commercial real estate. Check him out on the web with 3 locations to serve you. Ron Spencer Real Estate at rsre.com. That's rsre.com. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and check out our website at inohiocountry.com.
Hello once again, everybody. We're visiting right now with the Executive Director of the Ohio Soybean Council, Kirk Merritt. Kirk, always a pleasure to talk to you. Let's talk to the viewers who might not be that involved with agriculture. Tell us what the Ohio Soybean Council does.
The Ohio Soybean Council is the soybean checkoff organization for Ohio. So the board of directors is made up of farmers who volunteer their time to invest the checkoff on behalf of their fellow farmers in a way that benefits their fellow farmers.
Now, the checkoff over the years, I've been totally amazed at what the checkoff has been able to do and is continuing to do, and with all the research, what it will continue doing. And you work with it every day, and that has to be very exciting for you.
Oh, it's tremendously exciting. There are so many great things going on with the checkoff. Our board has invested for many years, as you say, in research. Much of that is research on how to increase yield of the soybean, make it more disease resistant, pest resistant, and in recent years we've also devoted a lot more of our resources as well to nutrient management issues, keeping the nutrient on the field to benefit the farmer, making sure that it's as efficient as possible. Another area of research that we have focused on is new uses for soybeans. And that has really been a success for our organization and for the soybean farmers in finding new ways to use soybean oil, soybean meal, create more demand, and benefit the farmers.
And going back to the farm, of course, there's at times a lot of dust along those driveways, and soy can help with that too.
Yes, the dust suppressant, another really good example. It's just one example after another.
And of course, this goes back to checkoff-funded programs and farmers helping themselves and the general public with the checkoff.
Yes, exactly. It's a great example of farmers helping themselves, and you mentioned the general public. Another area that we've really tried to focus on in recent years is making sure that the public, the non-farming public, understands more about farming, understands that farmers are good environmental stewards, they're taking care of the land, and really doing a great job with the resources that they have.
And of course, this is not only Ohio, but other states acting collectively to get the job done.
Yes, and we are one of many players here in Ohio. We partner with Farm Bureau, we partner with the Corn and Wheat Growers Association, the livestock groups, the Ohio Agribusiness Association, and then we partner with other organizations around the country. We all have to be rowing in the same direction for this boat to move forward.
Now, if folks would like to get a little bit more information, if I've sort of teased them a little bit with all, it's just been the tip of the iceberg, actually, what all this research has been able to do. Yeah. How can they get more information?
Go to our website, soyohio.org, and there's great information there about what the checkoff's doing.
S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory.
Welcome back, and with me today is Craig Rex, parts manager at S&S Volvo here in Lima, Ohio. And before we get to talking about the integral part that your department plays here at S&S, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've been with S&S for about 4 years now. I've been in trucking for about 20 plus years. I've worked with S&S Volvo for 4 years. Prior to that, I've been with other manufacturers, other brands. The Volvo truck works pretty good for us. There's a lot of commonality and allows us to be able to put different parts together with different models, so that makes it easy for the inventory and parts abilities. I grew up in the local area. It's nice working with a family-owned business and one ownership, with the owner still being in the building whenever you need him. That's kind of nice.
Well, Craig, along with your experience being in the trucking and growing up in the local area, Volvo has won some pretty impressive awards, and no thanks to probably everybody that works here, but your department has definitely played a role in that.
Yeah, winning North American Dealer of the Year has been kind of nice. It's something that we all work hard for, all departments. We work really well with the service department. We try to make sure that they have what they need to get the trucks rolling. It's important that we all make sure the customer gets his truck up and going. The uptime is the most important thing to us right now. It doesn't do any good for that truck to be sitting still. So we try to make sure we have all the inventory we need. We stock everything from gaskets to transmissions, and the I-shift transmission being the key to it. We put as much as we can in making sure we have what they need on the shelf when they need it. And as far as that goes, we go into deliveries. We try to make sure that everything gets delivered in a timely fashion. We run 4 delivery drivers out of there, 1 early in the morning and 3 later in the afternoon. Gives the customers a chance to call in, make sure they get everything the same day they order it. So from that perspective of it, we try to make sure that the customers get their product and get their trucks up and rolling as well, besides what happens here in our departments and our shop. We have a really good avenue with our employees that work with us. We've got quite a few guys that are been with the business for quite a while. They got basically 20 years plus, and if they haven't, most of the time they're mechanics. So we got guys that are working for us that have done the job, so they know what it takes. So it's one thing to know what it takes to put the part on, and also knows all the bolts and nuts and gaskets and everything that goes with it. So we try to make sure that the customer gets everything complete and right the first time.
Well, that's so important because, being involved in farming and working on stuff, it's always inevitable that it happens to me that, oh, gee, that part never breaks, so we got to take 2 days to order it. You guys really strive to not let that happen here.
We strive really hard. We do place a lot of orders and stock quite a few quantities so we don't run out. Occasionally, there's that problem, but for the most part, we try really hard to make sure our inventory levels are up and we're taking care of our customers. We do whatever it takes. If we have to go after parts to find parts from other places, we will. It's all about making sure that customer gets that truck up and running.
Well, we talked earlier with the service department and talked about their hours, and you want to tell us a little bit about what's your availability if I need that widget because my truck won't start, right?
We open 7:30 in the morning. We're there until 11:30 at night. I have guys working all shifts, so we're ready for you when you do call. We take internet orders. We take email orders as well. A lot of the customers like to do things over the internet, which is the new technology we're using. So we do a lot that way. We're here on Saturdays. We come in at 8 o'clock and we leave at 4:30. And again, it's staffed so that we can manage whatever your needs may be.
A lot of times when that one part does break, and you say, well, gosh, we've got 50,000 parts here, but that one little part we don't have. And you've got some very interesting stories, I'm sure, over the past few years of what you've been able to do to get that customer back on the road.
Yeah, we've had a few interesting stories. One of late, we've had a customer, Mr. Dick Levy. He had a truck that came in, and this brand new truck got wrecked, and we needed a cab. So we took it upon ourselves to get a cab lined up for him. Of course, one of the things that happens, occasionally things are wrong. We got the wrong cab in. We peeled the roof off. Several of us rolled up our sleeves. We got a new roof. We put it on. We delivered the cab within basically 27 hours of it hitting the floor here. So that was a pretty quick turnaround. It's something that had to be done to get Mr. Levy's truck up and running, and that's what we need to do. That's the extent we'll go to.
Well, you mentioned, we talked about your staff and the experiences you have within your parts department of how they've actually turned a wrench, and when somebody walks in at the counter and says, I need this gasket set for this, and they'll say, oh yeah, I know all that. What else do you think that the parts department offers in general and complements what they do in the service and the sales here?
Well, one of the things that we work real good with the service department, we constantly have dedicated people for that department, and basically that's all they do. They work with the service side. They work through the assist cases. They're looking at the exact same cases that the customers, the service manager, and the techs are looking at. So they tend to know exactly what's going on with each truck in the shop. We also have people who actually go out to the shop and they pick up the parts, deliver the parts. More time for the mechanics to be working on the truck and less downtime with us running parts back and forth. It's not something the mechanics need to be doing. We need to keep the trucks going and keeping the guys working on the trucks to get them going up quicker. So a lot of times we'll use our parts guys to make sure that happens and we keep the shop going.
If somebody walks in here to S&S Volvo, they buy a truck, what can they expect?
We do pretty much everything we can possibly do for the customers. We build relationships. Once you're a customer of ours, we take care of you all the way through. Everything from leasing, service, body work, some paint work. From parts, we constantly try to make sure you get what you need and get it taken care of. It is truly, you're part of the team when you come to S&S. And we want you to feel like part of the family.
Well, Craig, thanks for being with us today. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more right after this.
S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel and more. You can always check out our website at inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.